Here's a MeteoMark weather update. Let's take a look at some of our photos sent in by some of our viewers here. Lucas D. from Linden, Texas. We have a number of photos here that he sent in. I believe it was here on Friday. And as you can see, some of the photos behind me are very beautiful. Some of these sky photos here. Take a look at, he says it was like an air show over his head for a while there, and you can see why. Take a look at this. You got a whole bunch of different patterns here in the sky. So quite interesting sky patterns you captured definitely here, Lucas. And a lot of these are higher level cloud crystals forming along these stratiform lines here. And of course here's some more pictures of some foliage and such here. And more dark skies here, and guess what? We finish it off with a beautiful sunset. Beautiful Linden, Texas sunset. Thank you, Lucas, for those. And very, very nice indeed. You can see across much of the tropics here. Look at this. I wanted to show you this water vapor loop across the Atlantic, the Caribbean, and on up through the Atlantic and Gulf of Mexico, for that matter. And as you can see, I really don't have anything to talk about at the moment. Nothing is developing, and anything that does try to develop, first it has to overcome all of this dry air across much of the region here, especially even off of the African coastline here. But you also have to overcome a lot of problems with development in the wind shear environment. If I didn't know any better, I would guess that we're in an El Nino based on the amount of wind shear we have across much of the Caribbean, Gulf of Mexico, and portions of the western and central Atlantic here. So this was not going to let up, at least for the foreseeable future, at least for a week here. After a week, models, especially the GFS, start to hint at more low pressures, tropical lows forming. But the GFS has been hinting at that for weeks, almost months now, and anyone that does seem to develop doesn't have a much chance to develop into a hurricane. We've had 5 named storms, but none of them have attained hurricane status. So let's take a look at the lower 48, well, not for that matter, the eastern part of the lower 48 here. And as you can see, the next 4 to 5 days of rainfall here. Most of the rainfall will be confined here to much of the southeastern United States, where we get over an inch or two, with locally higher amounts to 5 inches likely. Not very wet across the northern tier here. We're not looking at very many wet days. So flooding problems will be mainly confined to Georgia and the Carolinas and the panhandle of Florida with that continuing tropical moisture. Let's take a look at the scenario setting up for a possible severe weather outbreak here for portions of the Twin Cities, extending down towards portions of Chicago and towards Indianapolis and extending down towards western Kentucky. These are the areas where we could see severe thunderstorms develop on the day on Wednesday and into Thursday as well. Thursday they will head more towards the Ohio Valley, and we'll be watching for that here at MeteoMark, for any severe weather developments that do occur in these shaded areas. So beware of that. Anywhere outside these shaded areas with the frontal boundary that moves through, we'll see mainly regular garden variety thunderstorms with some showers as well. Let's take a look at those temperatures. Temperatures will be the big story here, especially across much of west of the Mississippi here. We'll be well into the 90s here. We're talking temperatures near Dallas up towards Oklahoma City and Kansas upwards of the mid to upper 90s, some areas approaching 100. Even toasty here across the lakes, the northeast and the southeast as well. We're looking at mid to upper 80s, some areas knocking on the door to 90 here. So those are your temperatures for the next couple days here. High temperatures, that is. That's going to do it for MeteoMark. Don't forget to like me on Facebook at MeteoMark. Subscribe to me on YouTube at MeteoMark.com. Here's a 5-day forecast for my hometown viewers. In the Susquehanna region of New York, southern tier, Binghamton, Elmira, and Scranton, northern tier counties, Pennsylvania. Look at this temperature and areas for the Susquehanna region here. We're looking at temperatures approaching the mid to upper 80s here for Wednesday and Thursday. Then we'll tone those down for Friday as the front rolls through. We have a chance of a shower or thunderstorm Thursday afternoon, but it should be really isolated. Looking out into the weekend, look at these weekend temperatures. Low to mid 70s, some upper 70s likely, but very dry and nice sleeping weather overnight. That's going to do it for MeteoMark.